Hi, Polo. I've never really supported a content creator, but after discovering your channel 3 days ago through your Bob Dylan reactions, I feel compelled to. You seem super sincere and humble, are soft spoken, and despite saying you don't have any professional technical knowledge in music, which I don't, I think you said that, you are incredibly knowledgeable about how music makes us feel, plus good at putting it into words. It's great to see you take Bob Dylan to heart. He truly has a special way of translating human experience to song. If you feel like doing more of him, I highly recommend Blind Willie McTell Studio Outtake 1983, which is a simple hunting song about the scars of slavery in America, all right, which just so happens to be the year I was born, all right. Another song that he suggested is one more song, which also has a great live performance to go with. Young Bob with his guitar in front of a quiet audience is North Country Blues, a reflection on American poverty. That one I reviewed on my Patreon, actually. All right, so I appreciate the kind words and thank you for your support here, Josh, by the way, via Buy Me a Coffee. And yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and take a look at this one. I don't dive into Bob Dylan as much as I should. I know that I reacted to quite a few of his songs, but it's been a while. But just recently did a couple here. Well, one, and this will be the second because I am a fan. All right, so let's see what he has to say here before we get started. If you guys like this type of content, do me a big favor and like the video. If you want to stay up to date whenever I post, subscribe and hit that notification bell. The engagement, the comments, the likes tells me you want me to put out more content like this, and I truly appreciate it. Share this video with music lovers. Hopefully we can build a community of people who still love and enjoy music with all the crazy distraction and craziness we have going on today. It's nice to have some like-minded people visit my channel, join the Patreon, Discord, all that good stuff. And yeah, let's get right into it.
Seen the arrow on the doorpost, saying this land is condemned. All the way from New Orleans to Jerusalem, I traveled through East Texas, where many martyrs fell, and I know no one can sing the blues like Blind Willie McDowell. Well, I heard that hoot owl singing as they were taking down the tents. The stars above the barren trees was his only audience.
One thing I am feeling as I'm listening to this song is of course, I'm going to see the music different from a lot of my audience in terms of my experience as a black man in this country. And I look at the state of music that is consumed by most black people today, and it's most of it is debaucherous and surface level. Okay, and there is a time and a place for that. I'm not knocking it because I've consumed tons of it. But I do think the artists of old and some of the thinkers of old, from James Baldwin to Nina Simone, Muhammad Ali, just a lot of the people from that time that made music that was more constructive, that told stories, that kept history alive as well so that the kids wouldn't forget it. Like when we got the Sexy Reds today and the Moneybag Yo's and the Summer Walkers and the Takashi 6 9s and all this craziness. It's music that's that's hot for a minute and it's gone the next second. But what I like about music like this is that it tells a story, but it also keeps the history. And if you know the song, then you'll remember the history. I'm pretty sure somewhere in one of those history books is probably the way that the grandparents taught the kids to remember heritage and things that happen in the country via music. It's easier to remember things when you sing it. So to hear Bob Dylan tell these type of stories, from his perspective, and to do it also in a genius way. The song feels kind of familiar. Forgive me if I've reviewed this one before, or at least unless I'm just really getting hip to his style. All right, maybe that could be it too, but I don't know if I reviewed this one or not. But if so, we're doing it again. Anyways, that's the first thought. It just kind of makes me sad a little bit when I see that, music like this, and it doesn't have to be from Bob Dylan, but just it doesn't get pushed to the forefront, and it's not something that the new generation wants to hear. Because I can appreciate both. I can appreciate, the wild party fun music, but I can also appreciate the music that tells a story of where we came from and what happened in America. I can appreciate both, but that's just me.
Them charcoal gypsy maidens can strut their feathers well, but nobody can sing the blues like Blind Willie McDowell.
Oh, beautiful. Love the way you delivered that verse.
See them big plantations burning, hear the cracking of the whips, smell that sweet magnolia blooming, see the ghost of slavery ship.
Now, I've heard so many textures of Bob Dylan in terms of the way he's approached music. And in this particular song, I can hear the soul, but I can also hear the pain, almost as though he was whipped himself. Okay, we know that didn't happen, but but he's able to channel that pain. He has that empathy, where he doesn't just do this with this story, because I've reacted to songs where he told other stories that he's not even connected to, but he has the empathy and the creativity to bring that story alive via the way he does music, and it's a beautiful thing. As someone I'm not from Nigeria. I'm not from Kenya. I'm a foundational Black American. I don't know, my history. The guy who claimed he's my father, I met him in my 30s, and he hung himself a couple years later. So I barely even knew him. And but just forget that. I don't even know my family hardly. So I'm who he's talking about. It's a descendant of who he's talking about in this particular song. So just a little information about myself here.
See them big plantations burning, hear the cracking of the whips, smell that sweet magnolia blooming, see the ghost of slavery ship.
What's magnolia? What is that?
I can hear them tribes moaning, hear that undertaker's bell.
Oh, I can hear the piano sort of growing as the song progresses. Got a little bit of chills there.
Hear the cracking of the whips, smell that sweet magnolia blooming, see the ghost of slavery ship. I can hear them tribes moaning, hear that undertaker's bell. Nobody can sing the blues like Blind Willie McDowell.
I'm going to pay Bob another compliment. Forgive me for pausing a lot, all right? I don't want to lose my thought because he'll move on to something else. But And this is a compliment I'll give him. The person that I know that can sing music like this and sing it with their soul and their heart, and you can feel the pain in their voice, is one of my favorite artists of all time, and that's Nina Simone. Okay, which is what this reminds me of, because when she sings about strange fruit or Porgy or any of her good songs, you can feel it. She brings it alive. Bob from that era as well does that, you know. I'm pretty sure they intersected in terms of the time when they were at their hottest.
An undertaker's bell. Nobody can sing the blues like blind Willie McDowell. There's a woman by the river with some fine young handsome man. He's dressed up like a squire, bootleg whiskey in his hand. There's a chain gang on the highway. I can hear them rebels yell, and I know no one can sing the blues like blind Willie McDowell.
My goodness, chills. The vocals. All right, Bob.
Where God is in his heaven, and we all want what's his, but power and greed and corruptible sin,
What a verse.
seem to be all that there is.
Ooh, what a verse. The sound is back. Hopefully it stays working. Okay. Somebody messaged me on Patreon and said, "Hey, I really miss your horn. Can you please bring it back?" As I, it's like an expression of my excitement. And Don DeMarco's a DJ. Jay-Z's the voice that you hear. Jay-Z's my favorite rapper. Has been since I was 16. So that's what that's for. So I brought it back. But a few people said, "Hey, bring the horn back." But power and greed is a corruptible seed. Boy, do we see that today. Okay, we see the greed of all these companies and the race. I bring it up a lot. The race for AI, and to get that power over the people. Okay, and in today's news, we got people. America's taken over Venezuela. We're invading them, or however you want to look at that situation. And we haven't even taken care of home first. Half the things that were promised here, to the people, we're getting taxed and groceries are high, and it just seems that we're just letting the government, which has one job. The government is supposed to be for the people, but they seem to be for themselves. But everyone is also for them, is distracted in their phones, and we're all individuals now. We're not binded anymore by anything, as pop culture is going away and sports is declining, and all the things that kind of once brought us together, even with differences, is starting to change now, as we're in a constant state of distraction, and the algorithms is making everyone angry and creating problems that really don't exist, but we think they do in our minds. But I don't know. I'll end up going on a tangent, but that verse, but power and greed and corruptible seed. All right, and this was in 1983. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Let's keep it going.
where God is in his heaven, and we are what was his. But power and greed and corruptible sin seem to be all that there is. I'm gazing out the window of the St. James Hotel, and I know no one can sing the blues like blind Willie McDowell.
My gosh. Another masterpiece, and I use that, and I do not use that word lightly, from Bob Dylan. 10 out of 10, heartfelt, meaningful, selfless. What other words can I describe this? Passionate. Just an amazing, amazing, amazing record that I enjoyed. I enjoyed it. It gets you, makes you think. It makes you reflect, and I like music like that. Bob does a really great job of creating tracks that are his own. Okay, and it's him. I could pick him out. I can pick out his music anywhere. I've reacted to enough of it where I recognize his style, and it's dope. I love it. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section. Do you have a favorite Bob Dylan song? Okay, let me know in the comment section below. And how did this song make you feel? If you have any tidbits you want to fill in, I always try to get you guys to engage and say something in the comments because it helps the video grow. But I also do read the comments as well. I don't get a chance to respond to all of them, but I see them. And shout out to the supporter that sent in the request for this one, as it was amazing. I loved it. I love one thing I did not expect was people with the same palette as me finding me on YouTube, same musical palette. I didn't expect that. I always thought that I was a very picky, unique music. I still think I'm unique. You guys don't know half the music I listen to, but but the thing is, there are people who listen to the stuff you listen to, and they know a whole catalog of other stuff that you would like. All right, because like Hank said, we match. I bet you you like this song. Okay, and then it ends up, and I'm like, wow, just blows my mind. All right. Well, that's what I got for you guys today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, all that good stuff. If you want to support the show further than that, as most of these music reactions are not monetized, I don't get paid a lot for this channel. I do it mainly for the love, okay, for the most part. Yeah, that's it. So there's Buy Me a Coffee, Venmo, Cash App, and Patreon, where you can hit me up directly, catch content that doesn't make my YouTube channel. I also reviewed another Bob Dylan song on my Patreon because I didn't think a lot of people would watch it. When it's really niche, when you guys send me really niche music, YouTube doesn't reward videos that don't get views. So, the real music lovers will join the Patreon and then catch, some of those hidden tracks or lore view tracks that I think are amazing. Some of them I think are amazing. Some of them I might think are trash. All right, I don't like everything that you guys send me, but that's what it is. But that's enough of me running my mouth, man. I appreciate you guys for watching. Peace.